हम सवाहिनी ज्ञानदायिनी, हम सवाहिनी ज्ञानदायिनी, ज्ञान का भंडार दे, शारदे वरदान दे, ज्ञान का भंडार दे, शारदे वरदान दे, हम सवाहिनी ज्ञानदायिनी, हम सवाहिनी ज्ञानदायिनी, ज्योतिदात्री ओ वेदात्री, ज्योतिदात्री ओ वेदात्री, ज्योति का उपहार दे, शारदे वरदान दे, ज्योति का उपहार दे, शारदे वरदान दे, हम सवाहिनी ज्ञानदायिनी, हम सवाहिनी ज्ञानदायिनी, विश्व के अंधेरे घट में गिर न जाए इस सफर में, विश्व के अंधेरे घट में गिर न जाए इस सफर में, दीपों का आहार दे, शारदे वरदान दे, दीपों का आहार दे, शारदे वरदान दे, हम सवाहिनी ज्ञानदायिनी, हम सवाहिनी ज्ञानदायिनी, ज्ञान का भंडार दे, शारदे वरदान दे, ज्ञान का भंडार दे, शारदे वरदान दे, हम सवाहिनी ज्ञानदायिनी, हम सवाहिनी ज्ञानदायिनी, ज्ञानदायिनी।
शिव शिव जपते लीन मन हो, शिव शिव जपते लीन मन हो, शिव के स्वरूप में, शिव के ही प्रेम में, शिव के स्वरूप में, शिव के ही प्रेम में, शिव शिव जपते लीन मन हो, शिव शिव जपते लीन मन हो। कर्पूर गौरम करुणावतारं परं संसार सारं भुजगेन्द्रहारं सदा वसन्तं हृदयारविन्दे भवं भवानी सहितं नमामि। शिव शिव जपते लीन मन हो, शिव शिव जपते लीन मन हो। वामांग भागे गिरिराज कन्या, ऊर्ध्वांग भागे छवि भाति गंगा। भाले विधुर्यस्य हस्ते त्रिशूलं, तथापि ध्याने निरतः शिवोऽयं। शिव शिव जपते लीन मन हो, शिव शिव जपते लीन मन हो। उमा सहायं परमेश्वरं तं, त्रिलोचनं नीलकण्ठं प्रशान्तं, सर्वस्वरूपं सदसद्विहेनं, ध्यायेम नित्यं निज आत्मरूपं। शिव शिव जपते लीन मन हो, शिव शिव जपते लीन मन हो, लीन मन हो, मन हो।
You need to go to the advanced and then click that. You're directly opening the PowerPoint. I showed you that, no? Go to advanced. Go to advanced, click the PowerPoint, click it, and then select that. Okay, good. Go to the next one, go to the next one. Then move the thing. Move to the left. Bring it down. Bring it down. Okay. No. Little up. Okay. Expand it. Expand it. On the right corner, you go and expand it. Like that. Go to the next one. Push it up. Push it up. Push the picture, me, profile up. Up. There is a line there, you see? You go up to that. Go up. Go up. No, go up. Go up. The entire thing, you move it up. You're moving to the side, you go up, I mean. I'm not able to go up. This is maximum. Okay, reduce the size. Reduce the size. Not reduce, you're bringing it down. Reduce the size. Go to the type. Now you go up. Go up. That should parallel to the bar there. Go down. Down. Okay, there. All right. In there, my picture is also showing up. You can say hide myself view. Not doing it. Come here, I'll show you. That Soham Chaitanya comes, right? Yes. There you go to the right corner. There is a provision for you to hide self-view.
Yeah, I think for you, but I don't think for Swami Ji.
It's there, same thing.
So hide non-video participants.
No, hide self-view. Can you see that side? Okay, I'm seeing it. Okay, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Wait, don't worry about it.
You're the co-host.
What happened now? Can you select video there? Okay, good. Okay. No, this is fine. Okay, fine. Okay, thank you. Go to the second slide, third. There you are. Okay. Technology. Oh. Oh. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahe Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Samasta Jana Kalyani Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vitvaram. Is it 10 or 10:30? 10 o'clock. Because some may be coming at 10:30. Senior citizens. What is the age group?
60 plus.
Oh, we have 55 plus there. 55 there.
Some 55 plus joined also.
Right. So today's topic is, why should we meditate? Many people are afraid of this statement or the word meditate. And all of them think that meditation is not for a common man. It's only for advanced spiritual students. But Bhagavan Krishna used the word dhyanam even for any kind of focused thought. So in this verse, very famous, as Gurudev calls it as ladder of fall. This is well known in second chapter. Dhyayato vishayan pumsaha sangasteshu pajayate sangat sanjayate kamaha kamat krodho vijayate. There, what is the word used? Dhyayataha. Dhyanam kurvataha. As a person is meditating on what? Vishayan. So, any time when we continuously think about a subject or a thing, it's called dhyanam. So, all of us are doing Vishaya Dhyanam all the time. When it comes to around 12, 12:30, Bhoga Dhyanam. Bhog करने के लिए ध्यान हो रहा है. Interesting thing is, they think Bhagavan also need to eat so many times. Bhog laate hai. So people have their own bhav, you know. So Mahabhog. In some tradition, they give Bhog 7 to 8 times a day. Srinath, so many times. Once I went to Srinath Ji. You also came at a former. So, not Srinath, Dwarkanath, Dwarkapuri, Gujarat. And around 6:30 in the evening, so much crowd, Aarti ka samay. So many people thronging there, waiting for the darshan. And it is extremely crowded. So I was in the corner waiting. I mean, I didn't get into the crowd and watching. And as soon as that screen got opened, Bhagavan's form is very little. Bhog. So Bhog ka darshan ho raha tha. So many different materials, food are kept there. Everything. And people who have sponsored, they were sitting on the side, inside their sanctum. So they think their darshan of them also going on to people. They were all smiling, taking picture or whatever. And it was, Aarti was going on. They were doing Aarti. 5 minutes maximum. After that, they closed the screen. And everybody started running away from there. Running means fast. Because they are going to distribute the prasad. Then they opened that screen. Bhagavan was himself. Nobody was there except me. You were there? I don't know. I haram se baithe. I had darshan of the Lord. Bhog ka darshan nahi, Bhagavan ka darshan. I think people are so same Bhagavan only. 5 minutes later, he became different. Everybody ran for Bhog. So therefore, I say it's not Bhagavan darshan, it's Bhog darshan. You'll see in many temples it is like that. As soon as they open, there's such a crowd there, so many people. We just wait. Everybody will go. Then you will have aram, so you can have darshan. So Vishayan Dhyayataha. When a person continuously thinks about Vishayas, what happens? Sangaha. Sangha means mental association. Physical association, mental association. Teshu Vishayeshu Upajayate. So that means even if the physical object is not there, mentally we start thinking about it. At around 12, 12:30, we start thinking about what is the Bhiksha today. Right? I hope Swami Ji eats properly so that we can also eat. If Swami Ji is having soup, no, it's a problem for me. So I can also have only that. or, salad. After some time, physical body does not take the salads and all those things. Guru used to khas bhoos ka nahi kha jaye. So it's not possible for you to eat raw food. So why that is called Sangha? Because Sang means to connect. So mentally we start connecting to the object which we were thinking. So before you go to the mall to buy something, there are so many things you list it in your mind. When I go there, I buy this. And eventually you will find you don't buy any one of this, you buy something else. Whatever is on sale. Not whatever you want to buy. So Sangaha, so mental association takes place. Teshu. So sometimes the object may not be something which is readily available for us, but mind seeks it, thinking that that is a source of joy. Otherwise, we won't think of an object. The object is thought of only because that is going to add happiness to our life. That is called Sankalpa. Sankalpa means the notion of joy associated with an object. Sankalpa jayate kama, actually. That is why in Mahabharata there is a beautiful verse. Kama janami te moolam sankalpat kila jayase ata na sankalpayishyami tato tvam na bhavishyasi. Oh, Kama, I know your root. You are born out of the notion of happiness. Therefore, I will remove the notion of happiness, then you will not be there. Kama ka mool hai sankalp. And that sankalpa alone is samsara. Samsarasya moolam sankalpa. And that is samsarasya moolam ajnanam, he said, but ajnan is not knowing I already am the source of happiness, mistaking something else. Sankalpa. Samyak kalpana, it's called sankalpa. Keep on imagining. So kamaha is because of sanga. Sangat, sankalpa, sankalpat, kama. Desire. Desire is born out of notion of happiness. And it depends upon person to person. Even in the person, depends upon various stages. If you are hungry, the desire for food. After eating, pan. Why not you have pan before? No. The desire for pan doesn't come before food. Correct? After pan, cigarette. Or drink. One small quarter. It goes on like that. Nowadays, in the name of festivals also people drink. Diwali ke liye peete hai. Diwali ke liye kyun peete ho? Bhagavan, I mean, Lakshmi Ji tells you that for my festival you have to drink. Somebody get married, you drink. Cocktail party. Poor fellow is getting caught. And you are celebrating that. One husband and wife, they were eating in Bombay. And there was a sound going on. It was a big band and all those things. Some big procession. So the wife, without even going to the window, she said, I think somebody is getting married. Right? Because in India, they big. The husband said, no, somebody's dead. Because they make the similar sound there. So they started arguing. No, it's marriage. No, it's a death. So she went to the window, looked at it and came back. I told you, it's a marriage. Same. It's already the same. Anyway, we can make those jokes, you can add. So the desire for things can change. What you desire when you are 4-year-old is not the same desire when you are 10-year-old or 15. When you are 15, compared to that, 30 will be much different. Or where you are also create different desires. When you are in a club with your friends, are you thinking about doing meditation or going to the temple? No. Hopefully in the temple you don't think about other one. And which kind of people you are also. When you come to Chinmaya mission, then you may say, doing bhajan is a desire. After that, bhojan is a desire. So it depends on the place, depends on your stage of life, depends on whom you are associated with, what is the occasion, what is your physical condition. Right? So desire also constantly changing. It is not stay same all the time. So which is the sangha according to your karma? What is your association? Accordingly is the desire. But the problem is, all our desires need not have to be or going to be fulfilled. We may have many desires. Not all of them are going to be completed. That is said to be the cause of next birth also. Your next birth is decided by what are the unfulfilled desires you have in this life. Gurudev said, blueprint of the next life is already under preparation. It's already you are getting ready for the next birth by preparing your blueprint. This I want, I couldn't do finish this life, next life. This I want. So, this desire, decide next life. Yada kama, yada shrutam. Yada karma, yada shrutam. That is what he said. According to the knowledge, according to the karma, or according to the kama vasanas also. But when the desire is not fulfilled or not achieved, or some disturbance comes to it, then comes krodha, anger. It is other side of the same coin. Bhagavan said, kama yeshaha, krodha yeshaha, rajo guna samudbhava, mahashano mahapatma, vidyenam iha vairikam. Desire itself is anger. So what I do not desire, about that I have no problem. Meaning, even if I don't get it, I don't have any anger. If my neighbor's son did not get A grade, am I angry? Or am I happy actually? Because my son does not get it. So desire for a thing is what causes anger. In Ukraine, there is a war going on. They didn't go on. But if your cousin brother is there, then you will get angry with Putin or something. Oh, that fellow is so. Why? It's because you are involved. Something to do with you. So where there is a desire, there definitely potentially anger is sitting. The anger is on the background. So the desire, when it is denied, whatever means, about the cause of that denial, obstacle, we get very upset, angry. Kamat krodho vijayate. Anger. Only one letter difference between danger and anger. Not only you add D. Why didn't you say danger? You don't say that. That's why it's English is not a phonetic language. It suddenly changes. Ga becomes ja. Right? Earlier, why not say anger? You cannot say that. The moment you add D, it becomes danger. So now you see, anger, what is wrong with Swami Ji with the anger? Because sometimes anger, when they show, people work only then. Sometimes you have to show to your children also. And not studying, or your grandchildren. Now it is children are gone. You can't do anything about it. Grandchildren. So you have to show anger for them to do their work. Gurudev said, showing anger is different from being angry. He said, I also have anger in my pocket. Whenever I need to use it, put it back. But we are not able to do that because we don't have the control over that. So when you are angry, you get angry, you become succumb to that. Bhagavan can show anger and immediately come out of it because it is for a purpose. But you and I are incapable of doing that. We get very caught up in that. We become angry. So anger, what it does is, it makes you forget important things. You might have noticed, if you are angry with your own person next to you, you shout. There's no need to shout, even though the person is next to you. Why are you shouting? Because mentally you distanced. Even the person is close to you, mentally you distanced it. So therefore, you shout. Is he deaf or what? No, you want to overpower that person by shouting. If a person is far away and you shout, I understand. So close to you and you shout. That shows mentally you have distanced. This is called moha. Like a cloud between you and that person. So you cannot see that person clearly. When you don't see that person clearly, then you have to shout. To think that that person will hear only then. Whereas if you've seen two people in love with each other, even when they are far away from why? Because even though physically far away, mentally so close. Right? So then you don't need to shout. So the anger creates a mental distance. That is called moha. Something clouding up. Something comes in between. Incapable of clear vision. Like it has happened in the case of Arjun. He was in the very battlefield, which he wanted to be in the battlefield. But now he says, Mudaha. Dharmasam Mudaha. What happened? Mood. So Bhagavan says, Muda. Mood ho gaya. So, mood hai. Mood hai. So Bhagavan Shankaracharya says, Nahi nahi rakshadi dukkrin karane. What did he say? Muda jahi dhanagama trishna. Muda. What is that muda? Mohanvidaha. One who is deluded, not clearly seeing it. Bhaja Govindam, Govindam, Bhaja. Moodamapi. We also say, no, Swamiji, I don't have a mood today. Then I will say, Mooda. Hey, Mooda. So, moha is a absence of clarity that is covered with something. So that's what anger does. Anger creates a unclear vision. You don't see it clearly. Something is clouding up your mind. Just like you go to a cloudy day when you start driving. The whole thing is, then you have to put the yellow light, slow driving. So in the same way, mind gets clouded. Then what happens when the mind is clouded? Memory becomes difficult. Smriti vibhramaha. Brahma means, Brahma means a kind of disturbance in the mind where the priority becomes topsy-turvy. Brahma. Sometimes, when they introduce, we have in our presence brahmachari. Instead of brahmachari, brahmachari. Poor the brahmachari says, what? I'm not a brahmachari. Brahmachari. So instead of Brahma, it's Brahma. One person was introducing me and he was so stressed out. He was the organizer of things. Very busy doing this, and he himself is the one who has to introduce me. He took the mic and, okay, yeah, everything's fine. So we have today in our midst Swami Ishwarananda. In his suspicious presence, we will start this program. He's written down, but he's not reading properly. I said, auspicious, suspicious. I said, what am I? Am I not 7 or something suspiciously sitting? I'm clearly sitting. Why don't you see it? Why suspicious? Swamiji, I said, what I mean is auspicious. Okay. And we are going to have him give a presentation on stress without success. I said, you please stop introducing me now. Instead of success without stress, it's a stress without success. In one place, very funny, they said, and that person who introduced, Swami Ji has spent 3 years in Sandipani breeding the brahmacharis. I said, what am I looking like? A hen? Breeding the brahmacharis. So, there are funny people. Brahmachari. So, moha leads to unclear priorities. Memory gives us clear. This is what I want to do. Right? And I have access to that Brahma. Access to that memory. So when we are angry, even people who are so dear to us, we forget. One's own brother or sister or parents, we start becoming inimical. We hate them because of one particular occasion which did not go well with them or with. Then we forget about all that people have done, all that person has done to us. Start shouting angrily, straining the relationship, insulting them. So that's what the anger does. Smriti Bramsha. Smriti Bramshat, due to that absence of clear memory available to us, Buddhi Nasha. Inability to discriminate what is good, what is not good, what is right, what is wrong. Buddhi Nasha. Buddhi's work is Viveka. Discriminate, differentiate. That becomes absent. Gurudev calls it a ladder of fall because you're coming down one by one, one by one, one by one. So Buddhi is what makes human a human. Clearly see what is right, what is wrong, what is to be done, what should not be done. Kartavyam, akartavyam. Vaktavyam, avaktavyam. What is to be said, what not to be said, what is to understand, what should not be taken seriously. That Viveka Buddhi Nasha. So when we have our Viveka Buddhi, which distinguishes us from the other living beings, when we lose that, we don't become human. In fact, you will see animals act instinctively and they don't make mistakes. They don't make mistakes because there's no concept of mistake there. They may fail, but not mistake. If a tiger is trying to attack an animal, a deer, for example, if it wrongly calculates the timing, but that fellow is swifter than this fellow, let us say. You might have seen in geography, that National Geography. They're trying to chase that fellow faster than it goes, or it hides somewhere, whatever. Then its calculation is wrong. It is not able to do it. But it will not stop doing it. Next day, it will do it again. Instinctively, they will do it. Dog or cat never overeats. You'll find it. Try. You fill it up. It will eat only that much it is renewed. If you make a mistake of putting something else instead of their cat food, you put jalebi there. Oh, that fellow will look at it. What's wrong with you? He would not say, jalebi, will take it. They never gets it before. No, it knows. It will not mistake. Because instinctively they know this is not necessary. It's not their thinking. They will taste it. No, that's not what I want. Whereas we, आज मिलेगा, कल नहीं मिलेगा, ले लो. 2, 3 ले लो. और फिर इंसुलिन लगा. So see, we make mistakes. They don't. That is the reason why we are given buddhi, not to do that mistake. Now you see, you go to Arctic region, Alaska and further up. You will find the goats or dogs and other, they have a fur over their body, a thick fur. Why? Why not the same dog you bring it here, that fur will go away. It won't even survive actually. But if you take it there, they will start developing the fur. What does that mean? Naturally, the nature has this beautiful programming. For the animals, they provide the cover it or they secure them with the growth of the fur over the body. When you go there, you put fur, you start developing fur on your body. Why not? Why not the goats and the dogs and other things get it when you don't get it? Why? Tell me. इसलिए भगवान बुद्धि दिया है हमको. They moda, take it from them and put it on. So you are given intelligence, use that. They don't have it, so I have to protect them. You see? It's such an intelligent thing. They can't do it. So they will develop it naturally. So buddhi is what distinguishes human, because of which he can survive with the help of what he can think and do, whereas they can't. They instinctively move around. If that buddhi is not there, pranashyati. So you become worse than an animal. As I said, animals don't harm others unnecessarily. They don't own, possess, aggrandize, hoard. No. Whatever they get, they eat and then survive. If they don't get it, they don't get it. No doubt they save it for the rainy day. They have, some of them are intelligent enough to do that. But they don't loot it from others. Only these Disney movies, etc., they create a thing like that. Oh, these animals are, like, they go and loot from somebody else. Because the story has to be like that. They give all the human characteristics to the animals, but they are not like that. The dog won't go to somebody else's house and pick it up from a carpet. No, it won't do that. Only humans do that. So therefore, when we have our buddhi destroyed, buddhi nashat pranashyati. Say, okay, this is you understood. Now, what is the ladder of race? How do we go up? So I composed a few verses in Sanskrit to show how to raise ourselves. Next. Dhyayata Ishwaram Pumsaha Sangastasmin Sujayate. Then I'll tell you next. The same mind which can meditate on objects, if it can be directed to Bhagavan. Same mind only. Dhyayata Ishwaram Pumsa. When the mind is directed towards Bhagavan, then what happens? Same. Teshu Sangha. Tasmin, sorry. Ishware Sangha. Tasmin Upajayate or Jayate. See, all the various things that we do, whether japa we do, or prayers, or upasana, what is the purpose? To be in relationship with God. You take a flower, the flower becomes the means to connect with God. So long as it is in the plant, it is in the plant. The moment that very flower you start relating to Bhagavan, it becomes prasad. Until you cook, it's only food. When you offer to Bhagavan, prasad. You sing, but if you sing in praise of God, it becomes bhajan. You fast, but in name of God, when you do, it becomes tapas. So anything when you associate it with Lord, it becomes divine. A normal water, but the moment it is offered, it becomes tirtham. It becomes holy water. So association is what you create in your mind. When your mind is connected to the Lord, Dhyayataha Ishwaram Pumsa, Sangas Tasmin Jayate, Tasmin Ishware. The mind becomes started. Now, interesting thing is, when you do the puja, when you do the upasana of the Lord, or japa of the Lord, or remembrance of the Lord through prayers, Then you look at the world. From the standpoint of the Lord, when you look at the world, you will find everything is connected. That flower that is growing in the plant is Bhagavan's creation. The sun that is shining is Bhagavan's brilliance. Now he himself says it. Raso hamapsu kaunteya prabhasmi sashishuryayo punyo gandha prativyam cha. I am the taste in this water. I am the brilliance in the sun. I am the smell in the earth. Now, one thing you should understand is, the smell in the earth, is it belong to the earth? Do you think? You know, Bhagavan, what he says in that chapter 7, the smell is what makes the earth, not the other way around. You should understand this point very carefully. I am the taste. When he said water, in the water I am the taste. It is the taste that makes the water water. It is not water has a taste. Please, that's a totally different shift of attention. जो वस्तु है उसका अस्तित्व भगवान है. Existence is Bhagavan. If existence is not there, the book cannot be. It is not book has existence. It is in the existence the book is. Please think. So when he says punyo gandhas prativyam, prativyam punya gandha aham. The smell is what makes the earth earth. It is not earth has the quality called smell. That smell which is there is me. In other words, it is not the object has me. I have them. Without me, they are not there. So then that's what I'm saying. When you understand this clearly, and then look at the world, it is not Bhagavan resides in the world. World is residing on him. Bhagavan clearly makes it, Mai sarvam idam protam. What did he say there? Mai sarvam idam protam. Sutre maniganaiva. In me, everything is not that I am in them. That's what he made it clear there. Right? What did he say there? They are in me. I'm not in them. Don't think that as I said, in the earth there is smell, and that smell is God. Smell is God. In that smell, the earth is. So when you start looking at that way, then you connect everything. In everything, whatever a thing is because of him. That is called Sangha. So, Sangha Tasmin. You understand the association with the Lord gives this understanding that his presence alone makes the world of variety what it is. Apparent variety that is seen is his manifestation only. That's why he said, I am everything. Aham Krishnasya Jagataha Prabhava Pralayastata. Krishnasya, complete, all, Jagataha of the world, Aham Prabhava. I am the origin. I am Pralaya. Into me alone they go back. It is my manifestation. So that happens only when we shift our attention from Vishaya Dhyanam to Ishwara Dhyanam. That's why this verse, Dhyayata Ishwaram Pumsaha Sangas Tasmin Ishware Jayate. Then what happens next? Sangat Sanjayate Prema. वहां पे क्या हुआ? काम हुआ. यहां प्रेम हो रहा है. काम is attachment, pleasure. Prema is detachment. Just the opposite. So as we say, somebody, oh, we had this senior program, why didn't you come? बहुत काम था. Correct? बहुत काम. काम ही कर्म नहीं, काम. आज बहुत काम था, मुझे नहीं आना पड़ा. अच्छा, कौन सा काम? ये करना, वो करना है. बस काम से ही कर्म उत्पन्न होता है. हिंदी में काम जो है एक कर्म का, right? In Hindi, काम, when you say, what is it? बहुत काम है. Meaning what? I have a lot of work. But in Sanskrit, बहुत काम है. So many designs. काम से कर्म. So, kama is extrovertedly taking you, takes you away from you. Prema brings you back. So this prema should not be misunderstood as some kind of possessiveness, attachment, or simple love. No. Prema is that which is turning you around. From calm say, you're making a turnaround to prema. From extrovert to introvert. Introvert does not mean unhappy, disinterested in the world. No. You're trying to find out where the world starts. Prema. Bhagavat prema. And this prema is what makes us able to understand the undivided presence of the Lord in and out. Because the word bhaj in Sanskrit is to divide. Bhag karna. But the word bhakti, interesting. Bhakti is not to divide, it has to unite. So that's why somebody said, bhakti mein vibhakti nahi hona chahiye. Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi also made it that clear. Veda bhavanat sohamityaso bhavana bida pavani mata bhava shunya sad bhava sustiti bhavana bala bhakti ruttama. Veda bhavanat abheda bhavana is uttama. Starting our the journey, we have a Veda bhavana with myself, Jiva and Ishvara, they are Veda Haiti. But slowly, prema, what it does, it removes that gap and brings you closer to him to become abheda, divisionless. Dvidrishti se ek drishti. Division to vision. Division means division. To vision, to understand. Therefore, bhakti is that which is born out of relationship with the Lord, is no more as external, It is relationless in the sense that relation is always between one and the other. But one comes to understand that the one whom I am seeking is the one who is the seeker. The very reality of the seeker is that. As even I see myself in the mirror, I'm not seeing somebody else. Am I seeing somebody else there? Eyes are reporting something outside, but the mind says that is me. Isn't it? Even though you are looking at the mirror as an external thing or form, but you know it is me. In the same way, Ishvara Bhakti is that, brings that prema where the no more the individual, the Bhakta thinks that that is somebody else. It's me. It's my own nature. That is the effect of prema. Premna Bhaktihi. By the prema, by the internalization of that very form of the Lord, Bhaktihi, devotion, which has no division. Devotion is called a divine emotion. There are various emotions like love, anger, greed, and many things are there, jealousy. But divine emotion, an emotion that does not dissect you, destroy you, disturb you. And there is interesting thing is when I have a love for something, there is always a certain amount of insecurity about is always there. Oh, that person will go away from me, will disappear, will not be there anymore. Sometime I have to lose. All that. Whereas when devotion is there with the Lord, there is no insecurity. Because you cannot go anywhere from him, nor he can go anywhere from you. There is no question of loss anytime. Uncertainty is no more there. So when you understand that the Lord is always present, whether you even notice it or not, he is present. More often than not, we forget than him. He doesn't forget. Can you see, I forgot to breathe? He takes care of that. You cannot forget that. I've been forgetting many things, including breathing, nowadays. That's not possible. I ate yesterday night, I forgot to digest. Thank God he is not given to you that job. That you also forget. One man was very forgetful. He was a scientist. Always he will go to the next stop, then getting into this stop where he has to get down from the bus and then walk down. And obviously, always delayed by 45 minutes or so. So wife said, why don't you get down on this stop? I always forget, I'm thinking about something. So one day, what she did, she got into the same bus where he was coming back. So the stop came where he is supposed to get off. He is not getting off. You pushed him. And she also jumped. So this is the stop you have to get off. You understand now? Oh, yes. By the way, who are you? So what to talk of? That kind of a forgetfulness. So Bhagavan, certain things he doesn't give it to you. Many of the things. Because you forget. Breathing, he doesn't give it to you. Digesting, he doesn't give it to you. Getting old, he doesn't give it to you. Otherwise, you won't get old. Getting old, he doesn't give it to you. Hair growing, he doesn't give it to you. Nail growing, doesn't give it. Cell change, that all. Many things. If you look at it, what all the things that are taken care without you interfering. Sun and the moon coming, and you will not given to any responsibility for any government. Otherwise, they will say, Russia will say, I'm not giving to China. No, I have no India, no supply of sunlight. You didn't reciprocate what I did. No supply to you. No. So if you look around, all the things that are going on, everything is controlled by him. And very few things are given to you. That also we mess up. What? So the bhakti makes you realize how much you are already taken care. Premna bhaktihi jayate. Next. Bhaktya jayati sammoham. Any kind of such cloudiness, unclarity, the absence of clarity, or the unclear priorities of life completely gets washed out. A man of devotion is most clear vision he has. I know my goal. I know why I am doing this. There's no delusion. Anywhere he goes. Bhagavan very clearly says. Even Arjuna said, Nashto moha smritir labdha. Not at the end. Now I know what I need to do. See, even though Bhagavan spoke so many things, what did he do finally? I'm not insisting on you doing anything. Yata ichasi tata. Do what you want to do. But the ability to clearly see what Bhagavan wanted out of me, when that becomes clear, what did he say? No more anymore. No, I know. Karishye vachanam tava. I will do what you say. What does that mean? Ne evam moham apsyasi. Bhagavan also says, this, once you understand, you will never get back to that state of delusion again. You will not be deluded again. You will not be unclear. It will be very clear to you. So bhakti, that ability to connect with the Lord and able to see the world from his standpoint, makes the priority very clear. That's why many of the avatars, various avatars we saw, Bhagavan's avatars, right? So we have Kurma avatar, Narsimha avatar, Varaha avatar, Matsya avatar. In all those avatars, Bhagavan took a particular task and completed it. They are not called, they are called Amsha avatar. A particular Amsha or a particular purpose for which he was coming and completing that, and he will disappear. Whereas when he came as Rama, Parshuram also particular only. And then after that, he just went on. He was not in the scene. That's why Rama says, your thing is over, now go. You don't stay back here. Your purpose of doing whatever you need to do, you completed. Now, beyond that, don't extend yourself, because I have come to take care of it. Because Parshurama was unhappy that Rama broke the bow, and Rama is a Kshatriya. And he is again Kshatriya. He said, I will fight with you also. Rama said, what? Just calm down. Your work is over. Now you go. But when Rama came, he's very clear about what he wanted to do. That's why when he was told to go to the forest, he smiled. I know. Had it been just, if Kaigeyi had not asked for it and he had to rule the kingdom, then he would not have achieved what he wanted to achieve. So in the case of Bhagavan's avatars also, we find whether it's Rama or Krishna, etc. In the case of like people like Shankaracharya and others, They know, they did, they disappeared. Because they're clear about why they came. Purpose of their life is very clear. That's right. Sammoham jayati. Bhakti, when it is there is no more confusion about things. Mirabai, for example, even though married, everything is bad. Very clear about, no, that's not what I want. I know exactly where I'm going. And that is exactly what I have achieved. Bhaktya bhavati sammoham. And when we have more and more clarity in our mind, unwanted vasanas and other things get completely attenuated. Bhagavat Smriti becomes stable. Mohat Bhagavat Smriti. Remembrance of the Lord is no more a struggle. Some people ask, Swami Ji, how to remember God? What do you mean by how to remember God? You remember to eat, right? That's why Gurudev said, before eating, remember God. Because you don't forget eating. Brahmarpanam Brahma, or chant that 15th chapter. Right? Why? Because you don't forget to eat. So, before that, you do this. We conveniently forget the Lord. See, the thing is because we don't see the hands of the Lord in a daily life. When you start seeing His hand in everything, then you cannot forget. In our tradition, therefore, when the sun rises, remember the Lord. Even when you put on the light, you remember the Lord. When you step outside the house, you remember the Lord. Why did they say that? Because it's so very natural for us to forget it. Get caught up in our worldly things. Bhagavat Smaranam should be associated with everything that we do. I remember when I was growing up, my grandfather, great-grandfather, so when we used to go out, even any time when we go out of the house, step out, Namasmaran kiya ki nahi? Did you remember the Lord before you stepped out of the house? No, go back, drink water and come back. Drinking water is just a pass, Drink. Now step out, take the name of the Lord and step outside. So they made it very sure that you don't forget His presence. Before going to bed, before eating, as soon as you get up, while taking shower. But we need to do because our moha is so strong. Our delusion is so strong. So therefore, when bhaktya, when moha is more slowly, the clarity comes, then Bhagavat Smaranam is easy. Vimohat Bhagavat Smriti. Continuing. Smritya sambhavati jnanam. So, jnanam eva mokshasya karanam, mokshasya hetuhu. Bhagavan said, those who remember me, I will give them knowledge. Tesham evanukam partam aham ajnanajam tamaha nashayishyami. Atmavavastha. That I will give that knowledge. Ajnanajam tamaha nashayishyami. I will destroy that tamas born out of by giving them that knowledge. Tesham evanukam partam aham ajnanajam tamaha nashayishyami. Atma bhavastha. staying in their own heart. Jnana deepena basvata. By kindling this light or lamp of knowledge. So even those bhaktas who may not probably read a book, they would not have gone through any satsanga and other things. But Bhagavan himself says, I will give them knowledge. It's my responsibility. See, Ramana Maharshi, when he was young, he did not study Gita or Upanishad, nothing, because he was not exposed to that. But he was only told that body dies, soul doesn't. That knowledge somehow he was given. He wanted to experiment that. How is that? When the body dies, there is something which doesn't die. So he enacted that as though, but let me die. So he attempted that. You please don't attempt all those things. Okay. He found himself outside his body, looking at it. That happened out of his all punya karmas he has done for so many lives. He looked at his body and said, if that is lying, who am I then? If I can see my body lying down there, then that is not me. I must be different from it. If that is the case, this me, the soul, is different from that one. Why am I thinking it is me? But that was a very short experience. Then he decided, this I need to experiment exclusively. And all other things with respect to study of this and science and math and history and English, what use is that when I know it's all belong to that one only, which I am not? He stopped going to school, took off to Tiruvannamalai. First thing he did, as soon as he reached his, Bhagavan, I have come to your abode, you are my father. I'm not going anywhere from here. He didn't read a book. Nothing. Thereafter, he spent hours together, days together, months together. With that only one thing. If I am not the body, I am not my thoughts, who am I? Once he got an access to that, realizing what his real nature has been, and thereafter he abided in that completely and then left everything else. Then later on, many years later, when scholars came around and started asking questions to him, he answered precisely, and they said, this is found in Vivek Chudamani, this is found in Gita. Maybe true, because the truth cannot be otherwise. So they become Shastra themselves. Such Mahatmas become Shastra. Because what they say and what Shastra says become correlated completely. And once it is said that he was seen looking at Vivek Chudamani, somebody asked, so you are reading Vivek Chudamani? No, I'm seeing what others have said about me. About me means about the self. So that was... So what is it then? Who gave that knowledge? Who gave that knowledge? How did he get that access to that wisdom? Not by studying. So completely surrender to the Lord. You guide me. That total prapatti. Smritya sambhavati jnanam. Bhagavad smritya sambhavati jnanam. Dhruva, where do you learn from? Where is the knowledge came from? Samyak jnanat vimuchyate. When the clarity of the knowledge takes place, when the knowledge becomes personal experience, aparoksha jnanam, samyak jnanam, samyak jnanat vimuchyate. One becomes free. So this is a ladder of race. Climb up the ladder. So coming down is very fast. Right? Very easily will come. To fall down from a place is easy. To climb up is difficult. The Gurudev used to say, to go down very easy. Just stand there and just let go. You'll come down very fast. But to go up, you have to put effort. You have to put, enough effort to get up and walk. So this way, we should take up the Ishvara Dhyanam. Jayataha Ishwaram Pumsaha Sangastasmin Jayate Sangat Sanjayate Premaha and Premna Bhakti Upajayate. Bhaktya Bhavati what? Bhaktya Jayati Vimoha. Vimohat Smritihi Bhagavad Smritihi. Smritya Sambhavati Jnana. Samyak Jnanat Vimuchyate. So there were some questions. One of the questions that I have received. Two questions. How to deal with chronic physical pain and still keep sadhana going with titiksha, especially when even simple japa is also sometimes not possible. So, yes, as we get old, as we become, physical body becomes weaker, physical sadhana is difficult. You cannot sit for too long in the same posture, right? And even sitting down and doing any upasana is difficult. But anything with respect to the mind should not have the physical aspect of it troubling. Even if it is so, one is not able to do the japa or whatever. It depends upon to what extent a person has moved ahead. Many masters have said that abhyasa of any kind is only preliminary. Whether it is prana vikshanam or pranayama, control of the breath, etc. No doubt it will create the quietude of the mind, but they are all only the gross practices. Little better than that is obviously japa, which involves mind. In pranayama, etc., it's only physical. So that doesn't change the knowledge or does not bring knowledge to you. Just mere doing pranayama does not bring any knowledge to you. It will quieten the mind. But when you do japa with the proper attitude towards the Lord, then the purification of the mind takes place. That's why Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi says, Kayavang mana karyamuttamam pujanam japas chintanam kramat. Pujanam is physical activity. Japaha is walk karyam. Then chintanam. That doesn't require physical activity. So when a person is not able to continue the sadhana of japa or puja, one should maintain listening to scriptures. Because the input that we receive definitely will change the way we think. Satsanga will help us change our way of thinking. And we must allow that. Even though physically one is not able to do the japa or dhyanam or meaning the puja, etc. But that does not stop you from quietly listening to the correct knowledge. That should not be of an issue. That will definitely bring about it. That's into Shravana Dhyanam you can do. if you cannot do physical activity. Then the question number 2 is, in the second stanza of Arati of Gurudev, it says, Gurudeva Tava Mahaniya Kripa. In that song, not Arati, song, Ajnana Bare, Samshaya Se Bare, Viparita Vichar Se Bhi Bare, Manka Manke Andakar Ko Dur Kare. Can you give me some practical tips on how to handle any inappropriate thoughts that come to the mind? Viparita Vichar. Scriptures tell us to offer all thoughts to the Lord's feet, but how specifically to deal with inappropriate ones, because they cause most agitations just by even rising up in a mind that is trying to focus on sattvic thoughts. Suddenly, at the time when you're sitting for meditation, thoughts would not stop or would not become sattvic. If you have shouted at somebody and then come into the temple, it becomes divine. How? You still will carry that thing, that thought will be there. Bhagavan, punish him. So that anger will continue and that does not become divine. How will it become divine? So do not think that our Vedanta sadhana should not be done at a scheduled time. Don't put time compartments on this sadhana. In Vedanta, what we say is the way of thinking should change wherever you are. It does not depend upon a time and place as such. So sattvic thought should not be only when you get up and then be in the front of the Lord. It should be continued from the time you wake up. So in every aspect or every interaction, bring that correct attitude. Viparita bhavana is because you have not questioned it when they arise otherwise. When I'm in the marketplace, if I'm looking at things and then something is looking attractive, something I want to buy, and then I come to the meditation sit, what will happen? Viparita bhavana will come. Why? Because that's what you're thinking. If on the other hand, when you are at the mall, when you're looking at it, keep the mind, I don't need it. It has no relevance to me at this point of my life. I don't have this need for it. Then you come back into the seat of meditation, then that thought won't come. Why? Because you discarded it there itself. How will it come? And Gurudev used to give that story, One disciple and the Guru, they were walking, and then one girl was struggling in the water. The young boy, the disciple, went and saved her and brought her to this bank of the river, made sure that she survived. They went along. Then thereafter, the Guru and Shishya went to the next city. And in the evening, when they were after dinner, when they were resting, the Guru said, "What you did was wrong." And what did I do? That you touched that girl and brought her to the bank and all that. He said, "I left her there. You brought her here." I finished the job and it's over. I'm not even thinking about it. Whereas you even did not even touch her, you're still carrying it in your head. Right? So at that very point, when you know that you do not need, if you're carrying the idea that I need, then you sit in the meditation, it will definitely come. Because you're carrying that in your mind. So viparita bhavana, when it arises, that's why Bhagavan says, yato nischarati manaschancha. Whenever you see, immediately you stop there. Don't wait for the meditation time. It is like whenever we see an eatable vastu, we eat. We don't wait for dinner or lunch, right? In the same way, not in the same way. Whenever the mind thinks about things which are unrelated, unwanted, that time you should discard it there. Then when you sit for meditation, those things will not appear. So suddenly when you sit for meditation, Viparita Bhavana comes, let it come, definitely it will come. Why not? So the discipline should be to get rid of it as and when they arise. Yatra yatra mano yati tatra tatra bhagavadarpana. Whenever and wherever mind goes, there you surrender to Lord. You allow the mind to wander around, then try to bring it back into the seat of meditation. It will not happen. This is one thing. Second thing is, Viparita Bhavana can be overcome only when you have a strong conviction, faith in the fact that what Guru has said, what the Shastra has said is true, undoubtedly. I am Brahman. Anything that comes unrelated to it is not true, false. That conviction, if it is not there, even if you give, see, that is why in Vivek Chodamani, very beautifully it is said, Brahma Satyam Jagat Na Anityam. It's Mithya. And there the commentator beautifully puts the point. Yadi Anityam Chet, Yadi Jagat Anityam Chet. If you think world is only Anityam, temporary, then you look for temporary pleasure. You know? Somebody say, I know Swami Ji, everything temporary, but you will not have temporary pleasure. What's wrong? In the temporariness also, you look for pleasure. Right? You should know it is not anityam, it is mithya, it is not there. It's only an appearance. If you, that's the difference between anityatva and mithya. Brahma Satyam, he doesn't say Jagat Anityam. No, Jagat Mithya. It is like knowing that there is only mirage, there is no water. There is no question of going there thereafter, right? To quench your thirst. Do you go there? Having understood that it is not water, why should you go any further there? But if you think there is a little water is there, then you go there. So, mithya is that where you realize even temporariness is also not there. That's why it's sukha lesha satyamana nasti. Nasti tata sukha lesha satyam. You know? There is not even an iota of happiness. So that is how Viparita Bhavana can be overcome. Knowing the mithyatva of the things, then there is no question of mind seeking it anymore. That is how one should overcome. That conviction should be there. So that's why man ko viparita vicharon ko bhi bhare. It is full. Andak man ke andakar ko dur kare. That darkness because of which things are unclear, that also you remove it. So trying to focus on sattvic thoughts is, what do you mean by trying? Meaning my mind is already filled with rajas and tamas. I'm trying to focus to sattva in the time of meditation. It will not happen like that. It has to be maintained throughout and then you reach there. A person who is getting ready for Olympic training would not start doing previous day. From the previous Olympic onwards, he will start. 5 years. Then on that point, when he is ready to jump or do whatever his particular competition or challenge is, it is effortless. If you don't do anything and then suddenly you say, I want to jump, where will you jump? Don't jump to conclusions. Any other question, Ken?
Some thoughts on how do I extend my association with the Lord. Now, I do in transaction work. So transaction is very easy to do the part I have but the extension of your love, of remembrance of God is like how
See, Upasana is the best method of being with the Lord. Meaning either doing the physical Upasana, puja of the Lord, or japa, or reading the stories related to the Lord. So that the while reading or while doing japa, while doing the Upasana, there must be a constant remembrance that this should not stop here. It's not just confined to this puja graha. That should be extended to anything that I do as puja to the Lord. So anything that I do is the same attitude. As much as I do with great love to the Lord of offering it, any other thing I do also should have the same attitude, as though I am offering to the Lord. As much as I do the chanting in the front of the Lord, praising Him, any other transaction that I do also must be the same way. So you must emulate that same qualities in all. Then alone, it is possible for us to maintain the same. Otherwise, it will be confined to only that time and hour or the place, and then we forget about it until next day or whatever. So there is no secret to it, but that is the only way we can overcome our past habits which take control of us. All right. Yes.
Say, for example, I'm cooking something, and then I create a bar, I have Ganesh and Krishna on the pictures in my kitchen. So, like this morning I cook, and then I place it here. I use, chanting and use.
Yeah.
So, I do that all the time, but doing for the Lord, feeling how to feel.
See, when you are offering to the Lord, there is no expectation. You're not asking for a reciprocation.
No, I'm telling you, you are doing it and I'm not doing it. That's all.
Okay.
You are doing it, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. You're doing it. And then I do my chanting and then I cook.
Okay.
So that feeling, and even when I was working in the hospital, I had a Bharati teacher, day to day, all of them you are taking care, and I am just doing work. I'm just an instrument. So I tell that and I do that everything, but how to
What is your question?
That's the question. Like worship of the Lord means what it actually means. And devotion, what it actually means. I love you, God, I carry and feel it.
So, see, the thing is, on the other day also in the meditation class, I was telling this. When I meet a person physically and consider that person only a physical being, you cannot avoid likes and dislikes. When I consider that person as an emotional being, then there is also feeling of certain differences. You start judging that person. But when you are dealing with people, understanding them to be the soul, who is undertaking the same journey as me, all of us are going towards Lord only. They are all like, Angolam Nijabida Santati. Like each seed is going back to the tree only. So all of us are going to Him. So if all of us are in the same journey, we are all sahacharinaha. We are all going towards. When you understand that, then you understand all of them are bhaktas only. At different levels, doesn't matter. So when you are treating the other person as a bhakta of the Lord, then there is no, then you are already dealing with the Lord. As it is said in one of the, in the, what is that, Shiva, what is that, what is it called? Manasa Puja, right? There, Atma Tvam Girijamadi Sahacharaha Prana Shariram Griham Pujate Vishayopabogarachana Nidra Samadhi Sthitihi Sanchara Padayo Pradakshana Vidihi Totrani Sarvagiro. So, every word that I utter is Totram. Everybody whom I am dealing are all Bhagavan's form only.
But in transaction Vyavahara, for example, say, my daughter asks me, Mom, me and your two daughters-in-law are the same. For example, then if I say, well, you and my two daughters-in-law are same, I am telling what you are telling and seeing the same soul in my two daughters-in-law and my daughter. But in transaction purposes, you should not tell that.
Why?
Because that daughter is not at the level of my understanding.
I understood that, but your maturity should be according to what that person can understand only. Because you are not here to tell them whatever you feel, because they may not understand that. So you may have the correct attitude. It doesn't matter whether they know it or not, or they should feel it that way or not. Don't tell. Why should you tell? You have that attitude. You don't need to tell them. Right? They may not understand, as you said, or they misunderstand also. So you don't need to tell, but your attitude need not change because they don't understand. Right? So even if you are dealing with a child and child is crying for a small little, candy, it's at that level of the child's maturity, that is what is important to the child. So you know it, but you don't have the same attitude. So you understand that is what the child knows. Then he will also become mature after some time. Okay. Hari Om. Anything else? Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayaha Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kasyad Dukkhabhat Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Sri Gurubhyo Namah. Yeah, I have, concluded.